Hey Blue Jay Nation, this is Jimmy Walker with Creighton Women's Soccer, about to start the journey of year 2 as the head coach here at Creighton, and doing a little preview from the coach's desk. Can't wait to get started in 25 and looking forward to this interview today. Yeah, it was just a roller coaster really, getting in and moving the family and transitioning to Omaha. But it's an amazing place. Omaha, the people are so friendly and very welcoming to our family, to the community. And I was amazed when I first got here just how our community gets behind our sports. It's such a unique environment in Omaha where with us not having many professional teams, the community really gets behind, basketball, soccer and volleyball and softball, baseball. So it's unique to anywhere else I've ever been, really. It was an amazing first year. We obviously, we'd set the goal to try and finish in the top 4 in our first year, which we were able to do. We fell a little bit short at the end, but it was a good season for us. We did well. Enjoyed getting to know the girls and the players and developing relationships and moving the culture in a slightly different direction to how we want to do things, and then tying into this year where it's starting to feel a little bit more like mine, and excited for 2025. Yeah, there's a few memories that stand out to me. I think obviously coming into pre-season and just the difference in the mind shift from spring season to fall season, when the games are now all going to count and stuff like that. But going out and playing some great competition, first game against Minnesota and scoring really early in the game, and just how it started off the season with a bang, the energy that came with that, and then just the unfortunate, with Judkins getting injured, that game kind of changed the momentum a little bit for us. But there was that game and the Iowa State win. That we have a trophy for that game now, which was good. And that was my first win as the new head coach. And but the other little things though for me, the memories, it's a little bit of like just getting to know the players better, and just the staff being gelled in with the players now. That was something that I think was really important for us, and I enjoyed that aspect of it. And then some of the big wins we had some good wins against good teams last season, and beating UConn at home was a big one because I don't think we'd beaten them before. So that was a big one, and then we fell short. They beat us in the tournament. Very, very good team. But there was a lot of good memories, and some of the trips going to Georgetown and some of those places was a lot of fun to go travel and see different parts of the country too. Yeah, it's a lot of people ask that question, and we look at the squad on paper and we think it's going to be a competitive group again. We inherited a good squad last year, but on paper I think this one has the potential to be just as good, maybe even a little bit stronger in certain areas. But then you need to stay healthy. You need to have a good culture. That becomes really important with a new class coming in. So you add 1 or 2 more players and your culture changes. So hoping we can get that full buy-in from everybody. I feel we're a lot closer now with the way we want to do things and how we're trying to do things, that we've got the buy-in from the players. But year 2 is going to be exciting. We've got a great schedule, some really good teams on there that we're going to be playing, and high expectations. Obviously the goal is to be getting in the tournament and seeing where we can go from there. Yeah, it's just something philosophically we've always looked at, and I think if you want to be elite and you want to compete against good teams, and I look at it and go, well, in order to be elite, there's certain things you've got to have. You've got to have good players, you've got to have good coaching, you've got to have great facilities, and then you've got to have great competition. Those are the 4 things that will enable you to improve and keep striving to get better. And just something we've always done as a staff, wherever we've been. We've always gone and tried to play the best teams to prepare you for conference play. Like if we're playing Oklahoma and we're playing, Duke and Arkansas, they're going to be 3 games. There won't be too many teams in our conference that will be as good as them. So That's hopefully going to prepare us for those high tempo, fast speed of games, the physicality of it that's coming in the Big East, and hopefully by playing those, it's going to get us closer to being ready for Big East play. Yeah, well, I would hope we don't lose that chippiness and the blue collar attitude we have. That's always been something that I've tried to pride myself on with teams. I do really want teams not to like playing Creighton, to be a team that they don't enjoy playing against. So I'm hoping we're going to have that competitiveness. So the training environment, we're ready for that in pre-season, ready to get that going. So if we compete, I think we've always got a good chance, and that's what we'll strive to do. And then for us, it's you know, when we're putting together formations and systems of play, I've never really been a coach that's married to one way of doing things. I think, you know, you've got to look at the opposition, who you're playing, what formation may work best. You know, what might work against Duke isn't going to necessarily work against somebody else, or what Oklahoma is going to do is going to be different to Duke and teams like that. So I just think we look at the opposition and we look at, say, right, what will be the best system to give us the best chance to winning games, and that's what we typically go with, and your preparation will come on the field. So I think typically we will look at a 4-3-3, we'll look at a 3-5-2, and we're going to try something a little bit different again this year too, with a different kind of system. So excited for that. It's forever changing. So every time a player moves on, your culture dynamic just shifts slightly. Every time you add a player, your culture changes slightly. So with a good freshman class coming in, and then a couple of transfers that we've added as well, that becomes really important. The quicker we can gel and get the chemistry going, that we'll spend quite a bit of time in pre-season on that, the better that's going to be. I've had really talented teams where the culture's just been okay and they've not had as much success. But I've had teams that are decent but great culture, and they've done really, really well. So I think that culture piece becomes really, really important. A lot of what we do with the recruitment of our players, when we talk to them, you know, those first phone calls we have are sometimes 45 minutes to an hour long, just getting to know them as people a little bit. And we know during the season it can be an emotional time with playing time and all those things, but I think we've got a really good group of people as well as soccer players. We have a good group of women that are real selfless people that want what's best for the team. So, but that culture piece is going to be massive, and we'll continue to work on those relationships all year. So. Yeah, brilliant, brilliant. I mean, and we often say this as coaches, but as goes your leadership is as goes your team. And if you've got good leaders, it can really allow for you guys to be successful. And we, as a coaching staff, philosophically believe that, you know, teams that are player-led tend to be the ones that are most successful. If it's always coming from the coaches, long term, that's not going to be any way to kind of run your program. So we have three fantastic leaders, all slightly different personalities, and you know, it's you know, the vocal leaders, they lead by example at the same time as well. You know, when we're looking at our leaders, they've got to be good communicators, good people on and off the field. They've got to be fit. They've got to hold their teammates to the highest of standards when things aren't necessarily always going right at training and stuff. So in our captains this year, we have three really good people that want what's best for the team, and we're really excited about the leadership for this season. Beyond excited. I mean, it's this is, without even mentioning soccer, as a human being, you won't find a much better person. And just on top of her energy, her fitness level, her quality, and the ability that she has as a player. You know, that was so disappointing, like the first day of pre-season last year, to lose arguably one of your most high-profile players to an ACL. That's a really tough first couple of days of pre-season. But how hard she's worked has been an inspiration to the coaches. It's been an inspiration to her teammates, and we are beyond excited to have her back. And you know, gosh, she'll bring so much to this program. Yeah, so we have a few. We have a few transfers coming in. Just to add, you know, when you bring in a transfer, it's bringing that experience. You know, the freshmen are going to come in, and there'll be peaks and valleys with the freshmen where they'll have good days and days where they're maybe not always consistently good, but you hope you can find that consistency as the season goes on. So the addition of your older players, maybe they're going to bring that experience. They're going to have played in big games. They know what college is all about. The transition for them to come here should be a little bit smoother than moving away from home for the first time, because they're already used to that. And we brought in a couple of really good transfers in January that hit the ground running right away. They've been really, really good for us. Tori Gillis from LSU, and Tori came in January, great leadership potential, good athlete, strong, powerful, great in the air, good on the ball. She'll really add some experience to our midfield. And we had Olivia DeRay that came in from University of Pittsburgh from the ACC. So both Tori and Olivia, SEC and ACC players that will bring really good experience for the program as well. So excited about those two, and they had a good, really solid spring season to get to know the team as well. And then we've got Jalen Cheney coming in from Mississippi State, who is an attacking player, quite an exciting player. I remember looking at her when she was coming out of high school, thinking this kid's going to be pretty special. So I'm excited about her coming in. And then we have one more that we hope to announce in the next day or two. So yeah, looking forward to those guys, because they're going to bring in experience, and you know, they'll bring in some quality for us as well, and add depth to every area of the field for us. So. Yeah, there's a few. It's hard to just name one or two, because obviously soccer, it's the ultimate team game, but we've got a really good group of freshmen coming in. All of them are really good athletes, competitive players. We're expecting them to come in fit and ready to go, but you know, without really highlighting one or two players, I think just overall it's going to be a good group. But you know, with freshmen, they're moving away from home, they're getting adjusted to new coaches, new teammates. It takes them a little bit to get settled in, but I think there's going to be a few surprises in that group that we're going to be excited about. Well, you've got a number. We've got a good group returning that played big minutes last season for us. So you know, with your goalkeeper, Alyssa, really talented goalkeeper. She has aspirations to go pro after the season, so you know, we expect her to have a really good year this year. And then you know, at the back you've got you know, Reese has been playing all summer down in Texas, so she's got tons of potential, and she had slight injuries last season, but we're excited to get her back. Ella Offer is always good, every game in, game out, very consistent. Sav Solomon's going to be really good back there. We're hoping Jess comes in and helps us there as well. So she's got a lot of potential, had some really good minutes and some good games last season. And then we talked about some of the transfers coming in. You've got a good midfield. I think Tajay has so much potential, really, really talented young lady. And then we've got a lot of depth in that midfield, we feel like. And then, you know, as you know, with Ari up top and Mal, we've got some really good athletes up there coming back as well. So I think there's a number of players that could do it. And then there's always going to be one or two surprises too that have gone away over the summer and really excelled in the work that they've been doing. So yeah, excited about the returning group as well. Yeah, I think the final message to me would be, you know, we really, really appreciate the support that we get. And I know for a number of years the programme hasn't been tremendously successful, but there's a massive difference when we have people out supporting us, and the lift that gives the players to play in front of a big crowd. And obviously we had a really good first year last year, and we're hoping to build off of that. But get out and support us, because the players love playing in front of crowds. We've got some of the best teams in the country on the schedule this year, and you know, I feel like we're making progress as a programme, and I'd love to get the support from as many people as we can this year. So excited for the fall with some big games coming up. Hope you enjoyed the preview of the 2025 season. Cannot wait to see you guys out at Morrison supporting the team. Go Jays!